Good morning, Flosstube. It's Lori of Mischievous Stitches, and I am here with you today, freshly back from vacation. I missed my normal Saturday or Sunday upload, so I thought I would show you a few things I picked up this weekend and some new items I got in the mail this week and my progress on my Speak to the Earth piece, so I'll start off with that. I thought, in the whole scheme of things, I was going to get so much done on my vacation on my Speak to the Earth piece, and actually there were days I did not even touch, well, I touched it and put it out in front of me, but got distracted by the view, so I put maybe 8 stitches in the length of 4 days, so, oh well. So I did come home last night, and I worked on it a little bit, but here it is. And of course the top is covered, but what I did complete while I was on the car ride up there, I did stitch. I had the blue in the border, but there are just single satin stitches all the way around in 2 different colors. The inside here is one color and the outside is another. I got all of that complete. And I also completed this border on the inside, which I love the way that looks. I love the colors the green that was used. But I finished that. And then this is a long arm stitch. And I don't know if you can read that very well on the screen, but it looks like a braid. So I really like that. But anyway, so I completed all the 1/1 words in the top, this border, the long arm line, these A's, and I put back in the vine that I was missing here, got started on the swan. So once I bring this down, I will be halfway. So I'm hoping by the end of the week to have actually that's a third, or second, 2/3 of the way. So I'm hoping to have that part of this stitch, because this is just very open. But anyway, and look at my little squirrel. Isn't he cute? Also, I got a couple things in the mail. I got this. Let me take the receipt out of it. It's Birds of a Feather. And I love these little guys, so I got the fabric and the threads, the fabric and the pattern to do this. And then last night I was watching Just Keep Stitching, and Pam of Just Keep Stitching had this on her finish wall, so, but anyway, I'm looking forward to stitching this. When am I going to stitch it? That's the question. I have been buying like crazy since starting Flosstube. I'm telling you, I joined the Stitch from Stash for the first part of the year, and I bombed. After the first month, I just bombed. So I'm thinking to try the second half of the year with Stitch from Stash. I really need to in the whole scheme of things, but I just love adding to my stitch library. Also, I got the first 3 of these. Now, I had pre-ordered these before they were released from the Stitch and Frame in Rock Hill, North Carolina, and I only get up there maybe twice a year, maybe 3 times, 2 or 3 times a year. So I had her put me on the automatic list, and so I told her when she got 2 or 3, just go ahead and send me. So I got the fabric as well, and it's 10 root by Week Style Works, 36 count, and of course, that is my favorite fabric is Week Style Works. But I got the first 3, and I love the way not only I'm gonna go over and borrow the border from Vanna. I love the border that she created, but I also love how she's doing it one a month, I think. So I'm thinking to do it that way as well. I've been stitching the 1 whip, 1 regular, but I think I'm ready to change that up, because I really want to start Let Freedom Ring and join Brian and Vanna and many others as they stitch Let Freedom Ring. But I can't do that if I'm sticking to one piece at a time. So I got from a thrift store find, I think I showed it in my last video, the video prior to that, a design by Lou Fuller, and this is a second one that I found on eBay. I really like these. This one is a bell pull. I don't think it needs to be finished in a bell pull, but how often do you find a long vertical pattern? I really like this. So of course inside it says he's a painter, he's from Kansas, the man who actually painted this. And so I find some prints and won the prints for 99 cents. Now they're small. This is just one. I gifted the other one, but wouldn't this be great grouped on the wall with this one? And my other one was very similar to this. So isn't that nice? Now my closest friend Dawn is from Kansas, so when I won these prints, I really felt I needed to share one with her, so I did. And while I was on vacation, I got a text from her. She had already had it framed and was on the wall. And doesn't that make you feel good, just like with your stitch things, when you walk into someone's home or you see that they're excited or they appreciate what you gifted them. So Dawn, it warmed my heart. Thank you. So another thrift store find. Now I had several great ones this weekend, and I wanted to share them with you. I have shared most of them on Instagram, and you guys are just so supportive. But I found this box, and it was $3. The brass tacks. I don't think it's ever been used for anything. Nice and clean, doesn't have a bad smell. And there's a design that in a magazine I had seen some time ago that I really liked, but the boxes were so expensive. I thought, you know, that's not something I'm going to do unless I can find something cheaper. Well, something cheaper came along, and yes, it's been 2 years later, but that something came along. Last weekend, I got together with Yvonne, and we had a Saturday lunch in Junkin, and I come home with a couple things, and I've said it before, but there was an idea that popped across my Facebook feed for a quilt made out of hankies, and I knew that there was this place nearby that had a treasure trove of linens on consignment there. So I called up Yvonne, who is always, like me, spur of the moment. She's in, let's go. And I picked up 4 hankies, and my idea is I'll probably need about 24. So I decided to pick up 4 every now and then. And so here is one. Now this one's not embroidered, but I love the print of the fabric and how dainty. And then this is the other one. And I don't know what count this is, but this is stitched, not machine stitched, but you can tell by the irregularity of the stitches that this is hand stitched on this hanky. And of course, with it being over, it looks like over 1, and even if it's over 2, look at the tight weave of that fabric. I need to bring this home and appreciate it, so I did. And here was another. And it has little flowers along, you know, on the other corner as well. And my last one is this one. And I wanted them each to be a little different and to have different colors. So anyway, thought I'd share those with you. And I started thinking about these little hankies, and you know, I don't know the woman who owned them. I think I ran across something while looking through these in that little area. It had the name Shirley on it. And, you know, how many times did she celebrate something important in her life and cried and wiped her tears with this, or wiped her tears from sorrow? Kind of makes you feel connected to the person that owned these. But anyway, I'm glad to have them, and I'm going to eventually make that quilt and cherish them. Now, this weekend, My husband knows that I've been going to thrift shops and things, and sometimes we go together, but on vacation, we're out, we're picking up things for groceries for dinner. And he spots two, and you want to go? Well, yeah. So he is getting a grasp of what it is that I'm looking for. And I want to show you one thing I spotted, but the other two he spotted, and I want to share them with you. My favorite is this. Look at this wedding party. Oh my goodness. It speaks for itself. How this ended up in that store. Did they not have children? Did their children's children, were they not blessed with children so that it wasn't passed? I don't know, but I'm glad to have it. This, though, is a plastic frame. Can you hear that? And this is how it was framed. McKenna ghetto framing. So I opened it up after I bought it. And this is actually, let me show you. I don't want to make that much noise, but anyway, this is the original mat from the picture. It was also taped to this matting here. I doubt this is acid-free tape. So very carefully I removed that tape and took it out. And the picture is actually inside of this. Is the top mat, and there's one beneath. And of course it's, it's sandwiched in between them. It's just very old. I did see the imprint of the photographer from St. Louis, Missouri. I could not read the name of the photographer, but they were a family of some wealth to afford a wedding photo, not only the photo, but just the clothing. So I'm thinking this is 20s, early 30s, because her dress is just beneath the wedding dress is just beneath the knee. Anyway, love it. Oh, I skipped one. I was with a vine. I also have an idea to put some plates on the wall in my stitch room, which is almost complete. And I wanted something more dinnerware, older dinnerware, but I come across this, and I bought it because I love the subject matter and the colors. So this color here is Spice Cashew. This is what's being painted upstairs. So it's a dark yellow. It's a little brighter in this video than it actually is. But this will look, see, will look really great on the wall. And this is, I'm going to butcher this, but Cabildo. It is the Spanish embassy. Anyway, it was in Louisiana, I think. So anyway, it still exists. So of course, I had to look it up online, but there's this. And that was the two things, the hankies, and that was what I got when I was with Yvonne. And here are my other two finds. Now look at this. Someone told me that this is the pineapple stitch, and that someone had cared for this very much to have it framed. The glass had obviously been broken. You can hear that it's moving around. The thing that bothered me is this is glued down. I'm not crazy about the pink, the antique rose pink, but it's glued down. So yesterday we had it in the car. We're coming home, and I closed the hinge of the trunk on it and marred the matting. I was so disgusted with myself. And in doing so, I broke the glass on the second one, which glass is pretty cheap, but hopefully by the end of the week I'll order glass for each one of them. And I'm going to repaint this one. It's really dinged bad, but once again, someone took the time to make this and the expense to frame it. And it's sitting in a thrift store for $5. I'm happy to have it. So Marlene, I told you that I would accept your challenge of saving the stitches. So this is my first save, unless you count the hankies. This is my first save. And my second save, I have a My Big Toe design of Amazing Grace, and I don't have to stitch it now because I have this. It is stitched by RJ in 1995. And Brian of Blitz Stitch commented on Instagram last night that he thought that he had this design or one similar in a magazine that he owned. So I gave him that date, see Brian 1995. So hopefully that may help you find it in your magazines. But it's gorgeous. And that is my favorite hymn, Amazing Grace. There was a little old man in our church, and his name is, he's since passed away, but his name was Darling Heath. And he was just as friendly and humble as he could be. But you rarely heard him. He's, you know, everyone has their choice of pews in church. And I was always to the left and slightly behind him, and his wife. And he would come in church. You rarely heard him sing any of the devotional songs, but when this song, when Amazing Grace came on, he was the loudest voice there because the words and meant something to him. So every time I either sing Amazing Grace or see something like this, I think of Mr. Darling. So that's all I've got going. I thought it was going to be longer. I was worried I was going to overrun. I would like to say, just like Mr. Darling, there are those of you who also inspire me and speak to my heart. And this past week, it was Mary Rose. I was commenting, I believe, on my Speak to the Earth piece and how the threads were not laying like I wanted them to, and I did get a Snap Nabbit to help me with that, so that's really helped. So thank you all for suggesting that. But she said to me, and I'm going to read it because I know I'll forget it. She said, "Don't stress. It is the words that are the king of this piece, not the background." And what my mind computed that phrase or those words from her were, the meaning of this piece is important, not the imperfections. I've not concerned myself with the stitches since then. So thank you very much, Mary Rose. Thank you for those words. They spoke right to me. Also, I took some notes this time because I always seem to get done and then I'm like, wow, I forgot to say that. I just want to give some thanks. One is to McKenna, and McKenna, I forgot to pull the pattern out, but she gifted me when she learned that I really like Egyptian items. She contacted me and asked me if I had the Teresa Winsler Egyptian piece, which I do not, because I do shy away from Teresa Winsler because of the partial stitches. But she sent it to me in the mail, and I just wanted to say thanks. She also invited me to tell you all a little bit more about her, and other than what you all know, I hope one day to learn more. It'd be great to meet you, McKenna. You're so fun, and I love watching your videos. just keep doing what you're doing, honey, because you're doing a great job. We love you. Also, a shout out to the Kentucky Woman Stitcher. She has a new Flosstube. I think she only has one video. Unless she come out with one this weekend, she has one video, and she has been commenting on my videos from the beginning. So how excited I was to run across her name in my suggested video feed. So welcome to Flosstube. She's a retired teacher. I enjoy the things that she stitches. So if you've got a minute, just go over, welcome her to Flosstube and give her a hello. I have not forgotten about the giveaway. I did mention that because I had hit 1,500 subscribers, I was going to do a giveaway. I've not forgotten, or actually, let me rephrase that. I've got it on my notes, but forgot to pull the things out that I was going to show you for the giveaway, so I will be sure to do that this coming weekend. I can't think of anything else other than I have been on the look for, since seeing it at the Dixie Darling in Tennessee. They had Told in a Garden's Earth Dancer, which is, excuse me, which is an Indian princess with a dream catcher behind her. She's lots of beads. I really want her. I've been looking for her on eBay. I've just been actively looking for her and can't find her. She's not on Hoffman's. Many of the Told in a Garden designs still are. I do have the older pattern. What I mean by older is there's one that is a grandmother. She is also an American Indian as well. And I do have that one, but it is Earth Dancer, which is the younger that I would like, and I cannot find her. So if anyone runs across it on eBay, please just shoot me a message and let me know it's there. I would love to have it. So this is a Stitcher's SOS. I'm on the lookout for it. So I'm going to tell you a quick little bit about my vacation. I left it at the end in case no one wants to hear. We originally were going to stay in Blue Ridge, Georgia, which is in northern Georgia, really close to the Tennessee border. We drove up, my younger daughter, Chelsea, her husband, and my husband and I, and our son, drove up Thursday morning. We got to the cabin. It was the perfect setting. Several cabins. They're right there on the Toccoa River. Trees everywhere, birds singing, bunnies playing beneath the trees. Just perfect. And that night when I went to take my bath, I let the water out. The water was dripping into the kitchen around the light fixtures. So you can imagine we were, we're shutting the lights off. My husband got on the phone, called the rental place. This is like 11:30 at night. There's nothing they can do that late. I will say the rental company was on it, more than accommodating. Got someone out first thing in the morning, like 8 o'clock, someone's there. And it was not something that they could fix quickly. So to not really compensate us, but they were awesome, because what they did was put us in another cabin, and because of the discomfort of having to pack up and leave, they upgraded us. The cabin that we ended up getting would fit 12 people comfortably, 3 stories, an even better setting. Wasn't near the water. We chose the water because my other son-in-law loves to fish. Well, I think we're about a mile from a stream, and he did get some fishing in, and we had some of those fish for dinner Saturday night. But just a great time. I think my husband and I spent the majority of our time on the porch, and the porch covered 3 sides of the cabin, and we spent the majority of the time out there just enjoying the view. The kids were, on the porch. You know how kids, when I say kids, they're late teens, early 20s, mid-20s. They're on the porch, off the porch, you know, downstairs in the hot tub, downstairs, shooting pool. They're in and out, in and out. And, but we just enjoy having that laughter, and those kids around us. On Saturday night, like I said, my son-in-law caught fresh trout, and we had plans to grill steaks because there was a grill there. And he grilled the trout before we grilled the steaks and laid them out on the table, and we were picking it Fred Flintstone style, you know, by hand, and it was just wonderful. Just a great vacation. Made some memories, and by the way, little Canaan is walking, so he is everywhere. So there was always someone chasing it out behind Canaan. So other than that, I'm still off for a few days. I've got a good friend coming over Wednesday to spend the day with me. Really have no other plans other than finishing up my stitch room. Going to do some of those things that we do that no one really appreciates. That it gets done, but no one knows who does it or why. But I'm going to strip all my beds and all my curtains from my windows and get those washed and ironed, and all that ironing. I'm on vacation, but it's got to be done, and it's got to be, I'll be doing it. But have a great week. I will see you back next Saturday. I hope to have the progress on the Speak to the Earth piece, that second third complete, and I look forward to catching up on all the mini videos that you guys put out over the past few days while I was away. Like I said, have a great week. See you soon. Bye-bye.